Hey everyone, I'm Sison, and today we're taking a look at the Sony a5100. First off, let me quickly correct myself from my unboxing video and say that the a5100 does not replace the a5000, but instead replaces the NEX5T, which was released last year, and it also sits below the a6000. To be honest, this is going to be a confusing naming system, and I do wonder what Sony is going to call the a5000 when it gets replaced. But let's not get too caught up in that. The a5100 is a mid-range camera focused on autofocus speed, connectivity, and image quality. And this is going to benefit anyone stepping up from a point and shoot or a smartphone, and still has the convenience of carrying it around. So stay tuned as I give you a quick tour of this camera, as well as its features, image quality, video quality, performance, and of course, what I personally think of it. The camera has a solid plastic build with a textured grip to accommodate small to medium-sized hands, and a thumb rest on the back to make holding the camera comfortable. At the top of the camera, we have a flash button which manually pops up the flash, inbuilt microphones, a record button, rocker switch to zoom in and out, on and off button, and of course your shutter button. On the side we have an NFC tag for one-touch pairing, and on the other side you have a multi-port, HDMI, and your SD card slot. A nice touch to the doors is when you just want to charge the camera, you can flip this little door open and charge the camera instead of having everything exposed. At the back of the camera you have a nice 3-inch LCD screen, which is also a high-resolution touchscreen, and a clean button layout which won't be too confusing to navigate through. On the bottom of the camera you have your speakers, tripod mount, and battery slot, which is a W-type battery. And finally, on the front of the camera you have an AF assist lamp and a button located near the bottom to release the lens, and as I do this you can see the camera sensor, which is the same size as those found in larger DSLRs. The camera weighs approximately 280 grams, and that's with the battery included, so it's not going to be too heavy to carry around. And whilst the camera is small, it's definitely not pocketable, so you can store it in a small bag or you can just have it hanging around your neck. The camera's LCD screen can flip up for different angled shots and for selfies, but can't flip down. Having a touchscreen is a nice addition for touch to focus, but I much prefer having a capacitive touchscreen rather than a resistive touchscreen because it does require a bit more pressure when you use it, and it can only be used in the shooting mode. Like every new camera, the menus can always get some getting used to, but the good thing about this camera is that if you don't understand what a particular function does, you can press the question mark button, which helps explain what it does, and you can also customize a few buttons for settings that you change frequently. Like other Sony cameras, there are quite a few features that you can use to your advantage, and one of the ones that are most used is sweep panorama, where you take a sweeping photo across a landscape or scene and it makes a panoramic shot. Other features include picture effects, HDR, handheld twilight, and Sony's Play Memories camera apps, which allows you to download even more features through the Sony online store. And of course you also have Wi-Fi connectivity and NFC for one-touch pairing, where you can send photos straight to your phone or tablet, and you can also control the camera through your mobile device. Now if you've seen my video review on the a6000, you would have seen how quick the autofocusing speed is on that camera. And this is exactly what you're going to get with the a5100. It has the same autofocusing system as the a6000, so you have 179 autofocus points on the sensor and another 25 to make focusing even more accurate, so whether you're shooting or tracking sports and wildlife, and with 6 frames per second shooting, it's going to be very difficult for you to miss the shot. One of the downsides with this camera is that it takes nearly 2 seconds to turn on the camera, and by that time you may have already missed a shot, and it takes about 1.5 seconds to shut down. So Sony really need to work on this. In terms of shots per charge, you're going to get about 350 shots to around 400, give or take, just depending on how you use the camera. The a5100 has a 24.3 megapixel sensor and is very much capable of taking some high quality photos. The 16 to 50mm kit lens that it's packaged with is a decent lens for anyone just getting into photography. but to get the most out of the camera, I would suggest taking a look at the Carl Zeiss 16 to 70mm or even the 18 to 105mm G series lens, although it might feel a bit unbalanced with the larger lens. Getting back to the image quality, you can virtually get noise-free images from ISO 1600 and get away fine up to 6400 thanks to its large APS-C size sensor and Bionz X processor. High dynamic range is a big plus for this camera, allowing you to get vibrant images, and once again, having that large sensor allows you to get those professional looking shots where the subject is in focus and the background is blurred. The camera can shoot in 3 different codecs: MP4 for use on the web, AVC HD for TVs, and XAVCS for the best possible quality with the flexibility to shoot with a higher bitrate. To give you an idea of the video quality that you can expect out of this camera, I'm just quickly filming myself with the A5100. Now at the moment I have the flip-up LCD screen being used because it's very useful in helping me compose my shot. So like the RX100 Mark III and the A5000, it's going to be very useful for vloggers as well as people who want to take videos and photos of themselves without having expensive or a large amount of gear to carry around with them. So I'm actually recording this in the XAVCS codec in 25p, and at the moment I am also using the built-in microphones. One of the downsides to this camera is that there is no option to attach an external microphone, so there's no mic input and there's no multi-interface hot shoe. So there's no way that you can attach an external microphone unless you use an external sound recorder and match the audio and the video later in post. But that's one of the downsides, but of course you can always use the internal microphones. So to give you an idea more of the sound quality and the video quality, here are a few more sample videos just to see what you can expect out of this camera. The Sony a5100 is a great all-rounder camera offering DSLR quality images and a host of features from sweet panorama to quick autofocusing, Play Memories camera apps, and touchscreen usability. But if there's one thing that I wish Sony improved on, it would be its startup time, as it takes about a couple of seconds to power up the camera to take a photo, and in that amount of time you may have already missed a shot. There are other few things I wish Sony implemented better or at least included, such as a mic input for attaching an external mic, more touchscreen usability, or even Sony's smart accessory terminal, which was featured on the previous 5 series cameras. Other than that though, having the same autofocusing and similar image quality to the A6000 does really give you good value for money, and the only things you're really missing out on from the A6000 is the electronic viewfinder, mode dial, and the hot shoe. So if you don't feel like you need those things, I'd highly recommend this camera, especially if you're upgrading from a point and shoot or a smartphone, or if you're going on a holiday and you need something compact and lightweight to carry around. Now if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below, and if you already own one, let me know what you think of it, and remember to like and subscribe to my channel for more Sony camera reviews and tutorials. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram for more photo updates and sample photos. Until then, happy shooting and thanks for watching.